internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Words. Happy Monday, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Chris Lopez, a producer who helped get this going. Appreciate you, brother. As you see, I am in a different location for the time. I'm actually at my brother's house. He stepped out for a second, but when he comes back, I am going to be making fun of him. And I told him I'm going to tell everyone that I'm at my Thoughts house. So when you hear me say that, I want you to make fun of him. My boy Rob Vassilarakis making fun of him. All right, so let's get into it because we got a great topic today, and boy, do I need it because I've been going through it. So let's take care of some business. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, Volume 2, Edition 4, which basically means this is our fourth open mic in our second season. We've been doing this for over a year. Yay, we do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We stream live on Facebook and YouTube. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube and you would like to join us, on the left-hand corner, on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see the Zoom number 279-995-364. Or if you would like to see this show later, in case you want to rewatch it, or you want to rewatch some of our old shows, you can go to our Facebook or YouTube. We would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. Thank you very much. You have saved us during this pandemic. I love my Mondays. You too can support us with a tax-deductible donation at neweurekan.org/contribute or to our Cash App to New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I should probably slow down a little. I'm just eager to begin. Laughter is our theme for today. I hope that everyone, you can flip it however you want to flip laughter, right? Like if you want to try to flip it in a bad way, like the Joker's laugh, that's not a very positive one, or like a child's laugh, which is like real pure. You can do it however you want. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen our upcoming theme, so you can write to it. Next week, we're going to be celebrating Mom. It's the day after Mother's Day, but we don't need Mother's Day to celebrate Mom, but we're going to celebrate Mom. Week after that, there's no theme. Go wild. May 24th. They said about me. I want to hear about the rumors. As you can see, we have a bunch. I give you 2 months in advance of what the themes are. Now, you may be saying, you're not going to stay on this screen the whole time. Where can I find this information? Well, you can find it on my social media. I like to be slick. At Advocate of Words. When you spell Advocate of Words, that's with a Z at the end, poetic license. Also, we have been putting up the highlight reels. Actually, this morning, every Monday morning, we're going to get a highlight reel from the week before. So trying to fill out your Mondays. I don't know what we're going to do with Monday afternoon yet, but I'm working on it. So make sure you go and check me out. Poets who are signed up, please turn your camera on. This is like an open mic. We want to see your beautiful faces and your messy rooms. Please have your poem ready. We have 25 people who are guaranteed to perform tonight, but we've got 10 people on the waiting list. And you already know if you signed up, it is not easy to get on this list. So please be courteous, have your poem ready. You have 4 minutes to perform your poem, no epic poems, and hopefully we could get to the waiting list. There is no censorship, so beware. It does not mean that our poets have to necessarily use dirty language. Just saying, if you want to, you can, no censorship. If you are in the audience, unmute yourself after the poets perform their poems. You're going to see that you're going to get a notification saying that the host is asking you to unmute yourselves. We want to make this feel like a real open mic, so we want to make sure that, you can scream and loud and, be obnoxious. We love all that stuff. Give positivity to the poets who are performing. Poets who are performing, stick to the theme. Oh, I forgot to change that, or else. No. That was from last week. So if you do not write into the theme, it is totally okay. Do not worry about it. If you are feeling like you need to say something else, do something else. That is totally positive. Okay, so I know Mr. Tessasomo is first, and we do have some changes here that I need to put into the open mic list because Ron Mark Thompson is unable to perform tonight. So that means Gina Nepa. I don't know if it's Nepa or Nipa. I'm going to say Nepa for now, but when I call you, you can correct me. So Gina Nepa is going to be taking Ron Mark Thompson's place. Let me put this into the meeting so that everyone can see the list. I will update it. Gina is at the bottom in the waiting list, but Ron can't make it. So Ron reached out and he said, give it to someone who has never been on the list before. And I have no idea who Gina is. So, oh no, wait. I see Gina on the screen. Gina has checked us out before. She hasn't signed up, but she's checked us out. Oh, her hair is purple. That's my son's favorite color. I like you already, Gina. I don't care what Andy Markert has said about you. You're cool. I'm only joking. I only said that because I know that you're friends with Andy. So I like to cause drama. With that being said, as glorious as my beard may be, we did not come here to look at my glorious beard. Please enjoy it because I'm going to start cutting it down slowly. The weather is getting hot. Slowly, just little by little, man. Like, I don't know any of you who have had long hair or you have long beards, but there is like some emotional reaction you get to cutting your hair. I used to have long hair and I cut it, I had an emotional reaction. When I let my beard grow and I cut it, like I get depressed for a day or two. So little by little. With that being said, let's get to Mr. Testasomok and see what he has to say. Where is Mr. Testasomok? I don't see him. He is always here. Mr. Testasomok. I don't see him. You are making me look bad, Mr. Testasomok. Oh my God. Also, it took 3 minutes for people to sign up for the open mic. Oh, wait, people are saying, no, he's there, he's there. People are pointing. Where? Where? I don't see him. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, oh, I see him, but his camera's not on. For those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, you want to join us, the number, oh my, 279-995-364. I'm gonna make sure I go into Facebook and post that. So I'm asking Mr. Testasomok, we can't see you. What happened, man?
I'm struggling with my video camera. I started out with struggling with my internet, and now I'm struggling with my camera. So I'm ready to go. If you want to push me further while I try getting the camera up, I'm fine with it.
All right, cool. Let me do that because I want to see a beautiful face. He is a bard amongst poets. That's what I like to say about Mr. Testasomok. He is a professor. With that being said, we're going to DG Clearing, who's usually first, man. Let me tell you, Mr. Testasomok, he came in at 8 minutes and 22 seconds to sign up. And DG Clearing came in at 8 minutes and 23 seconds when he signed up. DG, you're slipping. But you know the deal. Let the people know they can find you. And you start. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. You can find me in Letters to Gaia right now. A recent book that came out in an anthology that helps all the proceeds go to stopping the use of fossil fuels. So a very good cause for DG Clearing Online. I have one poem for you tonight. It is called Laugh. Laugh. What is in a laugh? Is it a joy or is it a stain? Or to show you profit and your gain? Is it silly when you fall off your bike? Do you snicker when someone trips on a hike? If you have a stutter, do they mutter about your mother? What about your color? Do they smirk and say it should be another? When you walk with a cane, do they imitate your pain? If you're big, do they jiggle and wiggle and giggle? What about the scar on your face? Do they call you Scarface and a disgrace? When you wear the same clothes, do they call you a bum from the slum? If you hit a deer, do they jeer and say you're a broken mirror? When you're gay, do they call you queer as they break your bones with a sneer? When you're short in height, do they call you a little delight? If you're smart and read books, do they call you a nerd with a turd and no looks? What about your beautiful hair? Do they point and they say, look up there? If you're small as a house, or if you live in a small house, do they say you're a mouse? When you talk another language, do they gawk and follow your walk? If there's rust on your car, do they say you're poor and won't go very far? What about your school? Do they gag and say it's a rag? What about a laborer? Do they say you're a jerk and use your hands for your work? If you make $1, do they scream and holler with a roar and a grimace at your gain? With the sound of a bell, they tell you you're swell. than die in laughter as they tell you don't bother. With the hopes of the people, they topple your steeple, splitting their sides to the bone. With wisecracks as they ride, as we're crying inside, they make fun of you. All the people laugh. Thank you, everyone.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for DG.
Yes,
Clear.
yes.
PG, way to set it off, PG, way to set it off,
for the
man.
people.
Dope, DG, dope.
See, this is why I love y'all, because see, I know I didn't do this at the beginning. Let me make sure I put this in the bigger, especially for the people who are new here. All right. If you are new here to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe's Monday night online open mic, what I'm going to need you to do is to put your hand up or to touch your screen, whatever you want to do. And I want to let you know, by the power invested by me, by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, I now grant all of you poetic license. Okay? I love this community. DJ Clearing, thank you for flipping the script in a different way. And of course, all of you can hit it directly on the nail if you want, hit the hammer directly on the nail with it. But I also love it when you flip it however you want. I appreciate that. GG Clearing is a mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic. Look up Love Letters to Gaia. A bunch of people who are part of this community were in that anthology, and it's all kinds of awesome. I got to go to the open mic party. That was fun. Okay, next up, we got The Withdrawn, who helped set that up, and he helped set up that open mic. And now he knows firsthand that hosting and putting together an open mic is not easy behind the scenes. Withdrawn, let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's hear your poetry, brother.
Thank you. Y'all can follow me at The Withdrawn on Instagram and thewithdrawn.com. And this piece I have is called Words Tattooed on My Anxiety. Because saying I'm feeling all right and I don't know what's going on wasn't enough to understand that this particular situation wasn't for them to handle. Yet still chose to take it in their own hands, to take his life in their own hands. I'm sorry, Mario, that you didn't get the help you should have received. That the meaning of protect and serve doesn't exist for us. As I write this, I'm literally hiding in a box at work crying. Then when I'm finished, I'll come out and smile to the people who won't even understand because none of them look like me. Laughing and making jokes just because it's what I'm all about. Nobody realizes that sometimes the life of the party needs to slow down and chug some water. I deeply feel the words that you genuinely spoke. Some days I just feel all right. Some days I don't know what's going on. If I'm being honest, I know how it is to feel like that almost every single day. I hurt for the loss of your life, the space you were in, and the lack of compassion and understanding on the world's part. If anything else dies, I pray that it be this trend, not another one of us. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and
Nice
give it up.
Withdrawn. Thank
Withdrawn
you.
does it again.
Hello.
God damn it, Withdrawn.
Hi, my friend.
God
Hello.
damn it.
Love you so much.
Appreciate it.
Hello.
Thank you.
The Withdrawn, you can find his website, thewithdrawn.com. Find him on the social medias at The Withdrawn. We like to call him the wild card because sometimes he likes to talk about the dirty and nasty, and then sometimes he likes to take your legs out from your heart, and knock you over with stuff like that. Brother, thank you so much. I appreciate you. The Withdrawn, at The Withdrawn, or you could go to thewithdrawn.com. So he is another mainstay here. In fact, The Withdrawn, for the first year, he signed up the most. There has been no person who's been more active on the Monday night online open mic then the withdrawn. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Representing Buffalo. Okay, Mr. Tessasomo has gotten his camera ready. Apparently, he wore it out while he was putting together his OnlyFans videos. I'm not mad about that. Get your money, brother. All right, Mr. Tessasomo, professor, let the people know they can find you online, and let's hear that fire.
All right, you can catch me on Instagram under Gashes 2019 for my first book. Stay tuned for my second coming book. It's in the works. This piece is titled Tesosomok. I'm Tesosomok, after my great-grandfather. I'm tired of all those jokes that make me feel as some aboriginal furred animal from some island halfway around the world. I just want to forget this anger, this emotional fracture from owning such a name. Why couldn't my tatabuelo have been Juan Jose Justo Tiburcio? Why did he have to have some Japanese sounding name, and why did his pictures look as he was a Filipino? They all lied to me about him. Was he really Asian or what?
No, we lost.
I've spent my name, but it has not been involved. I'm buried in this cell where I have time to think about my name. Those days where I ran with Echo Park, they called me a joker. They said, because they knew I was crazy and unpredictable. I really think they meant I was sadistic, that I took pleasure in pounding brown faces into concrete granite, that my taste in danger ran on the surreal, that I loved Colombian neckties on those who fucked with me, that I was unstable, unable to allow personal intimacy. But this old veterano in La Pinta told me that what this Usomok meant. He made me cry because they had all lied to me about Tatabuelo, that they had not liked him because he too had been named El Joker in another time, another place, running with different vatos. They were called, there they called it a revolution. Here they call us gangs, hoodlums. But I know that I have inherited much of Tatarabuelo Tesosomok. We both loved danger, had no fear of death or life, but it's too late. This brown veterano face under my fist is not moving.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for
That's almost. He
Yes,
does it
yes, yes,
again.
yes,
Yes,
Little
the
bars,
Yes.
bars, indeed.
Twice done.
Hard
Yes.
bars.
Mr. Tessasomo. You can find him on Instagram at Gashes2019. I love this dude. And one time we got to see him working out in the farm, like he a real farmer. And let me tell you something. You don't mess with farmers. They are some of the strongest people in the world. Farming is not easy, okay? Gentlemen, you want to get rid of your dad bod, like me, go work on the farm. Holler at Mr. Tessasomo. Make sure you give that dude a follow. All right, we are now going to Vale Larkin. I so owe Vale a phone call. Where did Vale go? Vale was here. And where? Oh, there's Vale. Vale, I promise you we're going to talk tomorrow. I am so sorry. I have been so I know I owe you a call. Nonetheless, let the people know where they can find you and then rock out.
Okay, my stuff's in the chat. And the last link is to my reading series, and our next episode is on June 5th. So definitely check that out. And I'm not funny either. So I'll do something that's not funny, but is not miserable. That's a change. Okay, this is called, actually, this will be familiar to Advocate. This is called The Ballet. We're waking up, the smell of sun-warmed dust like a promise in the air. No huddling and huffing a damp day away. No, we're rising, all of us together, our fledgling flock. We're shaking off torn blankets and dreams of some mysterious world where we are children instead of what we are, free. We're sharing out food filched the night before, have to fuel the day's dance. We're that fast, our boards, our bodies hard and lean. We slide past into the teeming streets. We slip along through narrowing mazes of steel and flesh, horns and hollers to cheer us on our way. Speed's not the only trick, but it's the real rush, the roaring, soaring sweetness, the ecstasy of falling forever. We're not aiming at that final target. Just won't flinch if it hits. We're alive, more than all those stiff collar, souped up specimens living their aquarium lives, watched constantly by their bosses for any sign they should be fished out and left to flounder. They always walk with grim faces, like they're going to be late for the part where food falls from the sky. They're trapped, but at least they're comfortable, they say into their pillows at night. We're breaking the concrete waves of the here, the now, the never-ending moment. We're not the face of the future, and none of us look back, not once. We're not racing toward, but away. And who would blame birds who fled a burning nest? We may flee, but it's still flying, flying sky high forever. We're a liquid. We fill our space. We flow, foaming around obstacles and splitting, fractal-like, into deltas of scintillating energy. We are moved by every pebble on the pavement, but we stop for nothing. We seethe, scouring our paths, scoring the dust of the road in wild whirls. We ride, and we wear down the hardness of the city.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Val.
Yes, yes, yes. Vale, you're
Oh my
incredible.
god, that was so good!
Vale,
Oh
you're
my god, that
incredible.
was so
That was
Oh my god,
super, super dope.
Thank you, thank you.
Dope, Vale. Dope.
Val Larkin, make sure you give Val a follow, and I am familiar with that because that is the monologue or poem that Letters is reading for the play. But when everything gets together, we're gonna talk more about it. For now, go look up Val Larkin on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, hold on 1 second. Boom. Submit. Oh, cool. So it's the first time I ever had to ban someone from Zoom. I just did it. Awesome. Great. Yeah. I really wish these things were in person because I love hecklers who think they got, cojones. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm from the Bronx. Elizabeth Strauss is next. Where is Elizabeth? Oh, Deadpan Lizzie. I see her. Let me unmute her. Cool. Deadpan Lizzie. Let the people know where they can find you, and then let's hear your fire.
Good to see everyone. You can find me on Instagram, ES_Strauss, and I'll drop it in the chat when I'm finished. This is new shit. It's called My Sexy Snort. We usually tend to laugh a lot when we are uncomfortable. Never on cue. It's uncontrollable. But I digress. What makes me laugh that I belt out a snort? So sexy, but it does not drive women away. So I guess it is sexy. As I laugh the most when I am being tickled, and I love being tickled, it turns me on so much to the point where I'm so wet the fresh linens do not stand a chance. So ladies, you want to hear a sexy snort come out of a hot lesbian with a killer smile and panty-dropping hazel eyes and dry Bob Newhart sense of humor? You will have to pass my litmus test from earlier poems. And if you cannot remember them, then you're not getting to experience me beyond your screen. Did I make you laugh?
Deadpan Lizzie. I love the flip. Hold on. I did that was real quick. Let me unmute everyone. Unmute yourselves and give it up.
Oh my god, you're so good!
Deadpan dope. Deadpan dope in the building.
let's go.
Deadpan, let's go.
Humor in the night.
Elizabeth Strauss, I appreciated that. The first one actually tried to be funny. I appreciate that. That was funny. Thank you so much. This is not all right. Awesome. Also, make sure that you guys are following me on Instagram, like I said, because we do the highlights. And me doing the highlights is great for me because when I'm hosting, I'm handling a bunch of different things. And sometimes it's kind of hard to be able to pay attention to everything. So I'm looking forward to hearing that one again. Real quick, let us take care of some business because some of you are late. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, which we're streaming on right now, we do so every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You could join us on Zoom, 279-995-364. is the number, and that snarling face of a man. Yeah, that's me. Goodbye, beard. It's going soon. Our list for tonight is closed. If you would like to sign up, the sign up list opens up 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Normally, it takes like a minute to fill up. Today, it took like last night, it took like 3 minutes to fill up. I don't know what's going on. You can visit nuyorican.org, click full events calendar. When you do that, you click on the date you're signing up for. So next week, you would be signing up for May 10th. You would click May 10th and you would order an artist RSVP ticket. That is the only way that you will be able to sign up. And right now, my thought has opened up their Instagram and is taking pictures of me. That's what you're doing right now, right? I see it. I see it. I told you, this is my thought right here. My brother, Rob Vasilarakis. He is a poet as well, part of El Grito de Poetas. I love this dude, and I love to tease him, my brother. All right, so Elizabeth Strauss on Facebook. She does realty too. Check it out. And she is the beanie god, or no, the god beanie of the Beanie Mafia. All right, now we are going to Gina Nepa, or it's Nepa. She's going to correct me. My son loves the color purple. He has made me fall in love with the color purple too. There we go. Hi, Gina. How do I pronounce your last name?
It's Nepa. You got it.
Awesome. Awesome. So I heard some unfortunate news. You're friends with Andy Markert. I want to let you know that the entire community is with you. Our heart goes out to you. We love Andy. We love Andy. All right, Gina. So I know you've watched this before. You know the deal. Let the people know where they can follow you online, and then let's hear your poetry.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at gina.antonia.poetry. I'm really new to Instagram, so I'm figuring it out. Thank you. I did change the second one that I'm reading to like try to be funny, but I'm not really that funny as a natural state. So my first piece is really dark, and then I really tried to make the second one funny for you. So this first one is called Mima. By the time my father is 18, my grandmother had been psychiatrically committed 5 times. My grandfather would pack her in the car, the bags under her eyes heavier than those in the back seat. She never learned how to drive herself, you know, the bridges would have been too tempting. Sometimes she didn't know whether the voices telling her she was worthless were coming from her heart or her husband. We were told you sacrifice one for the other. We were told Italians are passionate people, you know, someone screaming at you is the ultimate form of flattery. We were told the best mothers are selfless. The best mothers deny themselves. The best mothers make sure the fridge is stocked before they lie down for 3 days. My grandmother underwent shock treatment over and over again to try to steady her stomach to return to a home where she was expected to fill everyone else's, despite herself running on empty since she was a teenager. At the end of her life in the hospital, the doctor stopped giving her the benzodiazepines that had allowed her to leave the house for the last 60 years. She screamed at the top of her lungs, "Please just let me die." What we didn't realize was she had been screaming that for 60 years. We couldn't save her from the trappings, from the bounds of the kind of generational suffering that we thought would go away once she arrived on the boat. It didn't. The only thing we could do for her was allow her the ecstasy of a temporary loss of consciousness through repeated shocks to her brain while she had to beg and grovel to access that ecstasy. I honored her memory by losing consciousness every few days. I lapped up opiates, drank until my body revolted, slept with strangers who sent shockwaves through my psyche, ate all the things she never allowed for herself before ripping open my esophagus to dispose of the pleasure. You know, the kind that makes my bloodline recoil. As I laid in a facility at 20 years old, itching at the imaginary bugs crawling all over me in the midst of withdrawal from temporary loss of consciousness, I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Please just let me die. Mima, I tried to break the cycle. I really did, but the bridges nearly got me too." Okay, so that's your dark one. And then this one is pretty sexually explicit. I don't know if I need to name that or not here. This is called Messiah. I knew that God was a woman the first time I fucked 2 men at once. I didn't know I could collect first, second, and third place all on my own, especially when the finish line was so wet. To be on display in that way, to be fucked in every way by men too beautiful to look in the eye, by bodies that made me believe in the second coming and the third coming was its own miracle. I don't need to go to church to have a choir sing my name. My confession is that communion won't fit in my mouth at the moment. Father, I have sinned, I have sinned, I have sinned, because you told me not to speak the Lord's name in vain, but they screamed my name all night like they were begging for mercy. And my, oh my, that mercy made me burn my sheets, scratch the walls, bruise my knees, and beg to please, please enter me again from behind. Heaven is not knowing, whose tongue is gently circling the crevices of my body of not knowing, whose fingers are making hallelujahs erupt from my core. When people pray to their gods, they always finish with amen. I say, why not too? Okay, I'm done.
Okay, she's done.
What the fuck did she just say? She said not amen. I'm out too. I'm out too. Oh my God. She's definitely one of us. Definitely one of us.
How do we move forward from that? How do we? I mean, we went real dark and then we went real Marissa Prada. Like, all right, like that was awesome. Gina, but you need to come back. You need to come back. I got so much to say about that first poem. Like you talked about the bugs and whatnot. Like I got so much to say about that. And then like the second. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, I'm gonna look up Gina now. Gina Nepa and the wonderful purple hair. I was gonna show my son, like, oh, look at her, look at the poem she wrote in her purple hair. But nope, not after that second poem. I still love it though. I still love it. Speaking of which, also, someone make sure that every time you guys perform that you go and you check the chat. People are saying really nice things about it. Like Amanda said that she would pay to watch Gina so you can start your OnlyFans, and Amanda will support you. Shout out to Amanda, who was in our highlight reel last week, and someone who is in our highlight reel. No, she was in the highlight reel this morning, and the person who was in the highlight reel last week was Marissa Prada, who I had mentioned. Marissa Prada. Marissa, let the people know.
Oh man, we missed you on Friday night, my friend. I'm just saying.
First off, let me say just, Marissa, your hair is looking wonderful, and those glasses are looking wonderful, and you're doing all kinds of things to me, and I love it. So let the people know where they can find you, Marissa, and then let's hear your poetry.
Come find me on Facebook, Marissa Prada, Prada Painting and Poetry on IG. I co-author, the word is right, W-R-I-T-E, and of course my own publishing house, Red or Green Books. Red is R-E-A-D. redorgreenbooks.com is the website. Come find us. We got a lot going on. Here we go. Advocate, this is for you because you missed Friday night. Ladies with labia, has your vagina caught COVID? Are you experiencing a wheezing, queefing, or crazy camel toe tingling? Are you hating the chafing? Is the squirting hurting? You are not alone. Now you can enjoy relief with the all-new Covag 10+. It works with your clit slit to make sure your beaver box keeps beating. Taking the new Covag 10+ is nowhere near clinically proven, but snatch it for your snatch anyway and give your peace sign a new meaning. If you suffer from chronic obstructive vulvary disorder, COVD, I told you so. Yep, it's too late for you, you stupid fuck. Covag 10+ is not for everyone, so consult your doctor before taking. The rest of you out there may still have a chance, though. That's right. Do not delay, especially if you have a bulge in your vulva. Moist. Just love to say the word moist. Make the most of this opportunity. Still heed the side effects, which may include spontaneous orgasms, facial hair, the growth of wings and or gills, inability to see reflection in the mirror, rage, group sex, and the making of finger puppets. Do not take if you have a penis, are near a penis, or plan to have sex with a viable dick in the next 365 days. By then, all long-term side effects of dick decay, better known as cock rot, will have cleared up. If you plan to be in your vagina that's not your own, good on you. Just share the Covag 10+ love with your pink taco partner. It doesn't have to be a dream, ladies with labia. Relief is at your fingertips. Again, do not consume Ready Whip while taking Covag 10+. It may be too fucking sexy, especially straight out of the can. If you start to grow a penis, call the corner. No, seriously, call the corner. People taking Covag 10 plus are likely to experience dry mouth due to no cock nearby and no ready whip. But remember, your penis snuggie needs to 86 the dick until you've completed the Covag 10 plus course. Only in a large, measurable amount of people has death actually occurred. Do not smoke cigarettes, just marijuana while taking Covag 10 plus, so you eat pretzel sticks instead of dick sticks. Together we can do this. It's time you took back your badge with Covag 10 plus.
Wow.
Unmute yourself and give it up for Marissa.
That
You
was
are fucking
outrageous.
crazy.
Wow.
You know what?
I don't even know.
You can sell salt to a slug.
Marissa Prada. Go give Marissa Prada a follow. Yes, she has a dirty mind, but she is also a fantastic poet and has much range. But I do love it when she gets dirty, right? I do love it, man. Ooh, back-to-back dirty. I did not expect dirt tonight, but I'm okay with it, man. I am an artist. I am okay with it. Marissa Prada, make sure you give her a follow. She's doing publishing, hosting dirty open mics, hosting non-dirty open mics. Like she's doing workshops, all of it. She's got her hands in a lot of cookie jars. No pun intended. Okay, next coming up is Elemental. Also, Poetical. I want to let you know you have been moved to the guaranteed list because Catherine Badan has left and she wants to give her spot to you. Now, my man Elemental, who has been in 2 of our highlight reels already because he is that good a poet and that good looking, is up next. Elemental, let the people know where they can find you and let's hear your fire.
Advocate, always a pleasure to rock with you, brother. Always, to every poet that read before me, to everyone after, to all those on the waiting list, peace and blessings. This is interesting. I did rip this on Thursday, so those who were at Laura Levon's event might have heard this. Real quick, everything that you need to know about me, elemental.com. This Saturday, I have a double feature coming up with Paul Conqueso. Plug in, check in, Red or Green Books, Vocabulary, believe it, it's all there. So follow me on this one. It's my guy behind me. So here we go. I heard the funniest thing yesterday. A man on the idiot box fixed his lips to say America is not racist. Saying it again just makes me laugh. I thought I would lose all my bodily functions. Could hardly catch my breath as he continued to ramble and bamble about division and togetherness. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I tend to put myself in a certain state of mind when I'm watching puppets dance on command with the master's hands entertaining the crowd behind the beautiful facade of cloaks and green screens, making the right lighting essential for maximum saturation to the right frontal lobe to disregard the jargon that ensues. What a show. This puppet was magnificent, like something straight down from Benny Hill. It was comedy gold, Martin and Short kind of right in your face with jokes that choke the life out of punchlines that sound like gunfire, gasping for air, another mother's blood-curdling screams for a dream deferred, a legacy denied in the name of the law. During the pandemic, I couldn't believe it. As the tears escaped my eye from the side-splitting laughter bellowing from my disbelief, this caricature, with Jim in his eyes and Crow on his lips, flew about the stage, dropping countermeasures from both ends that smelled like happy pockets of napalm, charming you into comfortable slumber with visions of clans, congressmen, protecting the interests of the wealthy. What type of fool do you take me for? I was born at night, not last night. Our ancestors cried, yours cheered. The display of such control, bravo to the descendants of Geppetto for making a real man into a bobblehead, served with a side of Sambo stew and a hint of quince for the tailor-made costume. Really, I haven't seen something so funny since someone said, from cotton to Congress. Are you really that lobotomized by values not your own? You now spew like toxic sewage, a mutant of the gruesomest order, but wear a grin and a U.S. lapel pin. Call it patriotism, call it Clark Kent with their capes tucked tightly underneath such masterful craftsmanship. It's deserves an Emmy, an Oscar, a Tony, a phony. This baloney has a first name. It's called the GOP. Its second name is delusional, thinking people can't see their schemes or their villainy. Thank you. I haven't laughed so hard in years. Your excellent dexterity and clever quips truly tickled me. Laugh while you can with your devilish grin. Your time is almost up.
Unmute yourself.
America.
Yes, 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 yes. Unreal. Unreal delivery.
Serious. Why so serious?
Why so serious? When you look him up, when you spell elemental, you take the T out, put in the number 2, elemental.com. That dude is fire. I appreciate you. And man, I'm a big comic book head. I am a nerd. I am a geek, and I love the Joker. I love the Joker. I love the Joker more than I do Batman. I think the Joker is more of a good guy, but that's for another discussion. But I love that poem. Make sure you check him out. Elemental, you could go to elemental.com. Like I said, when you spell that, take the T out and insert the number 2, and you will be there. All right. Mr. Michael Sindler is next. He also made a cameo in the highlight reel I posted this morning.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Michael, what are you doing with your life if you're not following me on social media? I know you don't have any.
Hey man, it's been a long day. I went outside today.
Don't you know it's
I
still
went
a
outside,
pandemic?
kind of rained on, man. I
What
gotta
do you-
tell you though, Elemental, man, I think everybody needs to raise their hand. Who doesn't think Trevor Noah should have that shit as a special correspondent thing? Elemental should be a special correspondent on Trevor Noah with that bit. Oh, that shit was so great. That was so great. That being said, yes, we've already talked about this beautiful book, Letters to Gaia. Here's another great little thing, 2020, the year that changed America. They're both in there. I got my usual thing for lighthousewriters.org, which y'all should check out. That being said, I've put enough space between the two of us to where I can do my thing. Because I wanted some space in there after that. So I'm just going to do a little sonnet. And this is called The Commission. I was told that I should write a sonnet that would be of comfort and uplift souls. I replied I'd get right on it. But in the meantime, there was Dr. Scholl's. If the afflicted feet weren't iambic, those foam inserts would just do the trick. But if required to be pedantic, a verse would be coming in a tick. However, if ticks would be a problem, another type of bug would do instead. Fleas could be made to swallow the poem, the kind of rhyme that makes you scratch your head. I don't know why the request was withdrawn. A sense of humor is sine qua non. And after that vaguely humorous thing, I will do another. And this is, I've had trouble year after year in the winter with mice, which luckily I don't right now, but this is a verse adverse to vermin within. This mouse, though small, is a huge distraction. He conjures up an enraged reaction. Searching for food is his innate function. Mine is to be the means of his destruction. He scampers, stops, then sniffs and stares. Perhaps he thinks I'm unaware until I throw a book or pen, somehow always missing him. As he darts under the couch where his presence is announced by sounds of scurrying tiny feet, my annoyance is nearly complete. In every corner I've placed traps. I'd long to hear one loudly snap. For once his corpse has been dispatched, then finally I can relax. And I will end with, as I said, I went out today. And so I actually rode the bus, which I haven't done for well over a year. So that took some getting used to, but just remembering all the good times I've had on the bus. This is wet spot. When riding on the 15 bus, check the seat before you sit down. There may be something to discuss when riding on the 15 bus, from the bladder, bowels, or guts, or the pavement, or the ground. When riding on the 15 bus, check the seat before you sit down. Okay, thank you very much.
Give it up, Michael.
Yeah, there you go.
Michael
Yeah.
Schindler.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Dope. I appreciate you so
Yeah.
much, Michael. So much,
Appreciate it.
man. So much.
It's tough to
As a New Yorker, I always check the seat before I sit. And I love that poem about the mouse. I actually wrote a poem like that where I talked about how my mother framed the court order I got from PETA because my kitchen wasn't conducive to the well-being of the mice. So I love it when people write poems like that. Nathan P. also wrote a poem like that. He's a host at the New Rican Poets Cafe. You should look him up. But Michael Sindler, lighthousewriters.org, which he likes to promote. Next coming up, because he be off the social media and he doesn't even see that he's a star in the highlight reel that took me 5 days to put together. But that's okay, Michael. That's okay. I love you and your hair. Next up is someone who I was scared that may not be on, but I just saw him put his video on, and that is Unmesh Mohitkar, who is currently having breakfast with us out in India. And we know that a lot is going on out there. The news is coming here. So Unmesh, I am happy to see your beautiful face. I am hoping that you are safe and all your loved ones are good. And I hope things clear up so you can get back to climbing in the caves. Yes, I do see you on social media. Brother, let the people know where they can find you, and let's hear your work.
Thanks for your support. Everybody's support. Thanks a lot. We are doing better. We are improving, and hopefully we will be far better. Yeah. So yeah, you can follow me on Unmesh Mohitkar Instagram and Facebook. I've got a book, Light Shadow Light, on Amazon. Then yeah, I'm at quite a few places. I've got open mic as well every Saturday, 8 p.m. in India. So you can find it on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. So I'm trying to be funny initially. Then I got a poem, serious poem, a little bit of serious. Okay, let's start. Nowadays, you don't kick people outside your house. Nowadays, you don't kick people outside your house. You just kick them out of your Zoom room. Pandemic has closed so many doors, but it has opened innumerable Zoom doors. There is a bad world outside. Now people have understood there is an equally bad world inside. We were divided by caste, creed, religion. Now we are divided by vaccine. Few countries in the world have banned death sentences. Now they just stop your internet. Less salary is okay. Less salary is okay. Please, 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 they should allow people to come to office once a week. Pandemic just killed the selfies. Everyone talks about air and water pollution. No one talks about news pollution. Water and air pollution may not hit you directly. News pollution scares the shit out of you daily. Gold, diamond might lose their shine and customers, but fear always sells. Shotguns were used to kill people. Shots are now saving lives. Lockdown has impacted negatively on the sale of the door locks. There were times when windows used to be ignored, but now window is your door to the world. I have met so many fake people in the life. I feel aliens are real. Gamers have become very good in virtual reality. Gamers have become very good in virtual reality. God is scared that he might be jobless. So that was my funny piece. And there is one more short piece. It's called Windows. Windows. I hate faceless windows, lifeless windows. No view, no emotions, just blank space, blank face. I love window with a view, expressive, ice of the mind, elixir of the soul, like emotions, changing colors, green in the rains, yellow and black in the summer, flowers in spring, foggy in winter. I see birds flying, diving, chirping endlessly, every moment living. I see clouds far away, silhouette of mountains far, calling me every day, my skin hungry for warm, hot sun, cool dancing breeze, looking, pining for more. My window, door to my emotions, I keep it always open. At any moment, happiness can fly in. My escape, my space, away from life and the stifling rat race. Thank you, thanks a lot.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Un Mes.
Cute.
Yes.
Nice.
Man, seven again.
Un Mes Mojicar. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. His book recently came out, and during the 1-year anniversary, it made whoopee with the New Rican Poets Cafe sign. So make sure that you go give him a follow. He's starting his own open mic as well. I think he's already done 2. So make sure that you give him a follow. And we really try and build community here. So like when I keep saying give people a follow, I mean it, because like I know what it's like you want to get on a bunch of open mics. You can't wait for every Monday, right? So make sure you build with the community. Also, every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have another open mic here with the New Rican Poets Cafe, and that is hosted by La Bruja, and that is at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's more than just poetry. Do poetry, comedy, music, singing, whatever it is you want to do. If you can do it on Zoom legally, then hey, you can do it on Zoom. So shout out to Diane Ward, who is in our highlight reel as well. She came in to check us out. Shout out to Ron Mark Thompson, who had given up his spot to Gina, but I'm gonna have to, say something bad about Ron. Yo, Ron, I thought you were a good friend. You didn't even tell Diane that she's in the highlight reel. What's going on, man? Make sure you give Ron Mark Thompson a follow. Look him up. He's got his hands in a bunch of cookie jars, but not the same cookie jars as Marissa Prada. Although if he did, then I think Amanda would pay to see that. Let's move forward. Paul Con Queso is next. Let me unmute him. Paul Con Headliner. There he is. Paul, let the people know where they can find your cheesy tush, and then let's hear your poetry.
Okay. You can follow me at Paul Con Queso on Instagram. Also, can you do me a favor, Advocate? Can you unmute Nico Kim?
Shoot. Look at all these curveballs y'all be throwing at me, man. I'm trying to do my job here.
I messaged you, my G. But yeah, Nico has been here before, but he's about to become a regular. So we got a collab piece. We were chopping it up together. We figured it's silly time. So we wanted to just throw some back and forth bars. All right.
Awesome. He's unmuted. Remember, we still got to keep it to 4 minutes.
Right?
Yeah. All right. But we are muted. Hi, Nico. It's a pleasure to meet you. Rock out. Go ahead, guys.
Is this what makes me? It inspired disposition. I'm tired of this position where I'm just trying to get any random fat booty bitch in bed to fuck me. It's not a hard trick to convince one to trust me, but it's only because I'm so lusty. Ero's trajectory is the cause of my treachery. My lechery is like some form of leprosy, eating me alive. And it's all just skin deep.
This skin I'm in seems so shallow. Needing aloe, perhaps cocoa butter, lotion, this narrow, callow character, a false actor, like Pagliacci the clown pouting, cause he who laughs last laughs loudest, but this syndicated sitcom still on laugh trap. Thanos had to half snap, super ego inside me like Tony Stark's arc reactor, collapsing heart. I'm that 6,000 part Lego set. You step on that splits toe open, too complex. Too many pieces of me to erect in one go. Yes, I know I'm a cheesy fucking clown. Heard the other day I look like Adam Levine meets Ace Ventura. Alrighty then, but I'm hype as Jim, deep as Truman, and yet still a Kaufman on the moon. Do I contradict myself? Very well. Yeah, I do. I contain multitudes like Goya Malta do. Like Whitman-esque blades of grasp, I am Russian Russian nesting doll. Crack me open and it's another Paul hiding inside, then another, till the final one. And surprise, it's a teacup me running on treadmill of self-sabotage. All honesty though, if we're being super friends like support groups for mutants and you ask my real power, I'd say infinite inability to see through my own bullshit. I still get requests on LinkedIn from folks I don't want to link with, and like link, hear the voice beside saying, listen. So I try to navigate ocarinas of time and fate, but time is fake, a matrix concept. So I say fuck it and fade away like bullet time. Like the Cape of Dark Knight, nihilistic and noir on a Gotham roof.
like a nihilistic disappearing act, unmatched in the shallow minds treading the waters of transcendence. Man, so many good sentences, bro. What sentience could ascertain understanding? Like the fish in the pond can't understand the concept of dry land, so they swim aimlessly, unbeknownst to the purpose for which we stand. And I demand more out of the plenty of fishes in these seas, because that is the standard if they want to evolve on land with you and me.
Walk on land with me, evolve stronger, see Darwin. We were once single-celled organisms, chirons crawling from primordial goop that didn't want a thing. Some of us still haven't grew from want to need, land to sea legs of mine, sea legs fine with me, Ariel finding sea, but the voiceless can't find harmony, mortgaging vocal cords in peace. I'm a sellout, shelled out, washed up on shore, voyeuristic invertebrate, with want to be a part of that world, turning appendages, tail between legs, and it's a shame walking costs us our voice.
But actions speak louder than words. Though I once bemoaned those who use their voice to just howl at the moon, they tell me that actions speak louder than words, but words are made by action. They also tell me that the law is known before it is written. So I understand that people have the tendency to err to the notion when they say that actions speak louder than words, but not a single one of those dumb motherfuckers know what it's like to howl.
Howl like Alan G. Baby, you moon, let me howl at you. In California supermarket, hit the road, Jack Kerouac. Law is written before we act. Sole exception, law of attraction. They say on accident. We happy acts are past descent. Actions speak bombastic as bomb-ass sex in the bast seat of a Cutlass Supreme. 30 minutes or less, it's free. Domino effect like sword-dwelling TMNT, turtle-necking brain like Krang, all types of head. Subterranean terrapin. Terror is an American tradition, so don't melt your own figments, bombing your twin towering ambitions.
My twin brother would punch air to every single one of your bars. Like I've punched holes into the facades of my foundations, leaving more scars on my knuckles than the times I've cracked them on kids' cheeks for some chuckles. I foresee a Tower of Babel could be built, and I think that's actually my biggest fear. A reason worth punching at the foundations of God's structures like a pugilist punching up. That's some kind of movement could be made that could topple the English language as we know it. Bro, quick, like how fucking ironic is it that the language of the Danes became the lingua franca? To be frank, I put that shit on everything.
Our knuckles punch sonic boom into our shadow selves, pressing down, forward, uppercut facades into faces of stone men's foundations like Medusa seduced these four ancients. I'd rush more, but we waiting to mount offenses of Lincoln linking with his three dead friends, offensive for anyone to say. So many tongues could be cut out by gods claiming tolerance, this babbling tower's armament like Sodom and ash. Not looking back at Gomorrah, our star lords become particles of salt pillar trying not to disintegrate into spice and fade.
Tossing aside some of the spiciest wordplay, the memes look better, and I'm digging this nerd play. You were talking about Rushmore. Bro, we gonna be monumental. Washington's whitewashed smile has nothing on mine. You see, mine come with chinky eyes. Pinky lies and brains worth two kick in the ass, showing off my sack like waiting staff. They don't call me Niklaus for no reason. Okay, no one really calls me Niklaus, but I wasn't gonna spell my name N-I-C-H because my parents spelled it N-I-C-K. But I needn't be a saint, and I needn't be a saint. Though you only need two miracles, and I'm literally one short. I mean, story of my life, but my life story is killing me. And when the fulfilling's free, it's a kill with kindness killing spree. And all you got to do is turn the other cheek, or rip out your eyeballs, or sacrifice yourself to your people. But who the fuck are my people?
Who the fuck are our people? They say eyes are souls peepholes. Well, call us peeping Tom Cruises because our mission's impossible. We be auteurs of the tortured soul, voyeur porn casters casting call, cataloging our suffering. Traumas unloaded just to be fucked. Wow, such bang busts like Big Bang Bust of existential nuts. Toxic's Krylon paint dust. I paint rooms of self-perception. My reflection I'm working on honestly. Examine our poverty of the mind. Starting off small like cryptocurrency, and I went from dirt cheap like Dogcoin peaked around 33. Jesus and me both, like how he stopped making hits after one bad day. Like Kurt Cobain, my jaw dropped as the gun cocked and these cops shot 2 more young kids caught in the street last week, and which may as well be a subgenre on Pornhub or some genre TV for Tucker Carlson's of the world to explore. Extort, extol, contort agendas and diatribes. Forget, we wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Our dying tribe's kids barely get to quinceañera, sweet 16.
Most be meat beaten. elite, pristine. Dang, bro. I be fucking with bang bros, hang low like Jib's chain, and fibs laying like wasps' nests in a tinted window pings, envious of the space they can never be a part of. White men can cut the knees and feed off the black king, but can never take away the true sultans of swing, because they be swinging like Moses Fleetwood Walker or Jackie Robinson.
Jack and Rob, their son, found their son split in distant solar system, murder hornets, stinging wasps, commodifying cancel culture like it's the remix to Ignition. Time is up for a system of colonizing and pillage, because we've rewritten these scriptures to bop our own algorithm. And you can either get with it or join these prehistoric bygone dinosaurs in the fiery comet of extinction, because we LinkedIn and we're tired of waiting, so we're taking back all our missing links.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Paul.
Good shit, big clown.
Thank you.
Shit, big.
Paul con queso. Make sure you give him a follow. Shout out to Nico. And Paul, you messed up, man. Adam Levine meets Ace Ventura. I'm never going to be able to look at you the same now. Adam Levine meets Ace Ventura. That is so Paul con queso. I got new jokes and you gave it to me. All right. Now we are going to the Skiff verse with Paul Skiff. For those of you who don't know, Paul Skiff is an OG with the New Rican Poets Cafe. He is someone that I look up to, and I hope to attain his status one day. And I hope one day people look at me the same way they look at him. Paul, bring us to the Skiff verse. Let the people know where they can find you, then let's hear your poetry, brother.
Yeah, it's just paulskiff.com. I do have a couple of videos pending, but I kind of say that every week. Anyway, it's really instructive to hear everybody's take on laughter here. I'm kind of following the advice of Phyllis Diller, if you want to go look her up, who talked about doing stand-up. You have to have one joke every 30 seconds. So I just have 4 really short things here. The first one has a title, Zoom-ligion. Look at all the tiny little people caught inside this electric box. This must be what God feels like. The second one is, stupid old man, gleefully sneered the boy who remote controlled his toy Jeep to slam upon my shin. As a child, you never learn. Fun might crash your innocence, so ridicule is not a joke. I think I'll trot up over to Avenue A, hang out by the water plug, wait for that blue-haired poodle to come, and then I'll just stand there. So he'll have to go home and hold it all in until the evening walk. Boo, boo, the pit bull thought to himself. Apologies to all you guys. This has a title, Ouchie, Ouch, Ouch, Ouch. Guess what I absolutely hate about having a penis? Big laugh provoked little laugh. Your penis slips out the fly of your undershorts when you're sitting, so those tiny little penis lips are kissing the shark-like metal teeth on the backside of the zipper in your trousers, but you don't notice. So, as you stand up, those little tiny penis lips bounce down the full length of that saw-like zipper, and you feel like a lightning bolt pounded into your groin. You scream so dementedly loud inside your own mind, the whole intersection seems to crawl in super slow motion. What I hate, what I detest about having a penis, countered Little Laugh, is how when you peel the condom off, the one pubic hair that has grown 5 inches longer than all the rest gets snagged and plucked.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Paul Skiff.
That was so One pubic hair,
painfully
not the
good.
one.
That was so good.
No, the one.
I don't even want to
I'm
know.
done with you.
OMG.
Skip first.
That
Straight
was
up.
First has a
killer.
new
The one.
dimension.
Beautiful.
New dimension in the skipper.
PaulSkiff.com. Oh man, there's just so much to say. I can't wait till I go back and rewatch this show. I am so listening to that again. Paul putting out all the business by that us guys go through, but it's hilarious. PaulSkiff.com. Go look this dude up, man. I am serious. He is like one of the gatekeepers at the New Rican Poets Cafe and the culture. And if I get to be seen like that, even 1% like that one day, oh my God, I'd be so honored. PaulSkiff.com. And I love the fact that he's showing his range. It's like, oh, Paul could be really funny and not like just like all serious and everything. Yo, the troubles with the zipper. Okay, Lopi LaRoe is next. I love saying this woman's name. She is not only a fantastic writer, but she is also a visual artist. And she just had a showing, I believe, over the weekend, right? So you need to go give her a follow. Lopi LaRoe. Lopi, I am ready for your stream of thought.
Thank you. Yes, I had a 20-year retrospective. That was exhausting. I'm exhausted. Paul, you healed me of my penis envy. Thank you so much. I don't want that to happen. That sounds painful.
Opie, I just want to stop you. Make sure you let the people know where they can find you first. Then get into please.
Okay. If you go on Instagram and you just put hashtag LMNOPI, you'll see like tons of shit. That's easy enough. LMNOPI and LMNOPI.com too. Okay. All I have is just like a bunch of like this sort of Dada-esque little snippets. I don't even need to explain it. I'm sorry. I will just go. Don't leave home without your ID. It will be needed. Don't leave home without your name. It will be needed. Don't leave home without your face. It will be needed. How can anyone see you without your face? They can't. Hard stop. Here, let me help you with that comprehending. Here, let me pull myself together, an assemblage of limbs, a face, hair, just enough to allow you to recognize me as human. I was just laying around unassembled before you called, out of shape and out of sorts. Here, these are my eyes. They are bulbous orbs, not marbles or everlasting gobstoppers for you to consume. They change colors as your saliva wears them down until there is nothing left but a tiny wisp of sugar to be casually swallowed and forgotten in the next second. Here, let me show you my skin so you can know what kind of sausage I am, to be wrapped in plastic because nothing can be left unwrapped, unencased, or anything. Here, allow me to introduce myself by my name, Box Cage. This is not a poem. This is a poem. This is not a poem. This is a poem. This is not, but this is. What this is not what it is not. How do we define invisible but through the shape of its edges? The creeping fingers of dread, the skirting of the abyss, as bits of earth crumble and fall into the void, making no sound at all. As I sink into complacency in a world devoid, Storm Prediction Center is off. When I wake up, I don't know who I am. I'm a cat's rough tongue on my forehead. He's exfoliating my face. The salt from my tears like a salt lick, 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 woke up like this. This is not a poem. This is a struggle to be. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Lopi. Lopi
Lopi,
LaRoe.
you're incredible. You're incredible, Lopi. Truly.
I love you all.
Dope, Lopi. Dope.
It's very fun.
Dope.
I love Lopi LaRoe. I know some people think when you say like you know you're a writer's writer or you're an artist, they think like it's a backhanded compliment. For me, I don't think it is. Like as an artist, when you're knee deep in something, you start to understand the little nuances and the thought patterns, and you can pick up different things that normies can't. No offense to the normies out there, but like, and I pick up like these little things that Lopi does. And I so love it. I so appreciate it. I'm glad that she is part of our community. LMNOPI.com. Go check her out. And I just realized that, like, I've been seeing, she's been coming for months, and I just realized, like, oh, it's like the middle of the alphabet, when you're a little kid, LMNOP, right? LMNOPI.com. Make sure you go check her out. Also on Instagram, Lopi LaRoe. And she's got such an artist name too, right? Like, oh, why did my parents think of giving me an artist name? I had to give it to myself. All right. We're going to Andy Markert, and it's just Andy's night tonight because Andy gave us Gina, and we love Gina, so now we gotta love Andy. And I know Andy also brought someone else, Aram. Am I saying that right, Andy? Aram?
Yeah.
Okay, don't say her last name because I'm gonna try to figure it out. I like to do these things on my own, and she'll get to correct me. But like, you have brought us two new voices. We like Gina. The pressure's on you, Aram. But
I'm out recruiting for the cult.
There you go.
It's a very real thing tonight.
There you
I'm
go.
out recruiting for the cult.
I love it. Andy, tell the people where they can find you. Then let's hear your fire, brother.
Y'all can find me on IG at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's. Should be in that little bubble below my face. And you can follow me there for my musings and silliness. I'm about 5,000 miles away from theme. Love me anyway. This piece is called Repetitive Gesturing. I know, the devil lives in repetition, hiding in familiar sounds, hand around your throat to choke away the meaning. I have been both the hand and the throat. I'll show you. Thank you for letting me share. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for caring. Said the first time hits like lightning, and then the nods and acknowledgement feel a desire. Said 10,000 times. Makes people wonder if they needed to hear what I had to say or what else they could be doing, that maybe they'd rather be with someone else, reminding them that the scars and experience I had aren't justification alone of my chair or their care. I didn't say thank you once. I was only a child, angry in all the ways a body aged before its time could be, sat in a circle of chairs with other children hiding in the costumes of adult bodies far older, and immediately was called out. We thank people for the gift of their time, for their experience, strength, and hope. It is a kindness, she tells me. I asked with a sneer born of bravado if a girl like her needed to be thanked, and what exactly she'd do for my kindness. She slapped me, It would not be the final time my baser nature was corrected by the back of a hand, but that sting of that hand in that moment of thank you, I want so badly to be loved, even at my absolute worst. I think I've always wanted to be kind because they were loved. So I thought the nice guy didn't always get the girl, but when the credits rolled, they were the names that were mentioned. That character was so sweet, so dreamy. I wish I had a man like him. My name never mentioned in anything but passing. So I became a man who remembered to thank you for your time, thank you for your love, thank you for your friendship. So many times my life turned into a transaction, waiting for you to hit the heart to acknowledge the receipt of me, looking for a like button long before one existed, sentencing myself only to ever be remembered in a passing. I told myself I never wanted. I learned it so deep beneath that slap, I forget I do it. With daggers made of 1,000 thank yous, with blades of weaponized kindness sharpened like flint to a knife's edge, I carve away the weight of me. I carve away my consequence. I carve away my desire and my dreams into tiny pieces, hollowing away who I am. I give you all of me in bite-sized chunks you never asked for, served as party favors wrapped in a joke, long after there was any need to hand them out, long after there was any need to give those out, and long after you were done laughing. I am not a transaction. I am a person. Tonight, I have no more pieces left to give. Instead of saying thank you, I'll say goodnight and let you decide to stay. Good night.
Unmute yourself.
Andy,
Give
that was
some
incredible.
Damn, why do I
Andy,
want to
damn,
cry?
damn, Andy, damn.
Goodness.
Incredible.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
amazing, Andy.
Very
Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
you.
you.
Andy Markert, you know, when I went to acting school, I went to William Esper Studios, and the first day they said, they said what acting is to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances. And I brought that over into poetry performance. And I've always felt like, the imaginary circumstance would be that you put yourself back in that original moment that made you feel the way you do. And that's all you need really when it comes to acting or performing or reading a poem. That's all you need. And I feel like Andy did that. Andy just put himself in his emotion, and in that moment, and everything genuine came by. And now everyone loves Andy, and everyone has forgotten about me. Damn you, Andy! I'm the host. Andy Markert. He is a wonderful human being, a wonderful performing poet, a wonderful writer. Give him a follow at Andy Meerkat. That's with 2 T's at the end. Shout out to Mr. Markert, Andy's father, who checks in sometimes. It's a family affair, man. Make sure you give Andy a follow. I love it. So if you were ever wondering how should I read my poems, that's the trick. Just put yourself back in that feeling. All people care about is sincerity. That's what we really care about as an audience, sincerity. Andy Markert, go follow that dude, man. Love him. Okay, moving forward, propaganda poet. Let me unmute him. There we go.
What's up, New Yo fam?
Propaganda poet has been waiting for this theme. And this week he said, I got some stuff I need to get on it, so I'm ready to hear it. Brother, let the people know where we can find you online, and then let's get into it.
Okay, I dropped it in the chat here. So I love it when a plan comes together. So real quick, a quick shout out to all my comic book hero fans out there. Here is a haiku pair called the Dynamic Duo. Growing up, Batman was always my hero, but the Joker was real. One superpower was white privilege, the other, the system's victim. And now I'm going to try and make y'all laugh. So this next poem, toxic masculinity does not fit here. So let us rejoice in the small penis. Celebrate the small penis. Embrace! Please, won't somebody embrace the small penis? Now, ladies, I know that many of you probably won't agree with this, and I really must confess that if I had 3 wishes, I'd probably waste 2. And to be completely honest, it wouldn't be totally for you, but just imagine what we could actually do if we would just rejoice in the small penis. Now, I know what you must be thinking. That feeling in your stomach is certainly sinking, but it's going to get to the point where we can't even afford the gas to get to work, and at the risk of sounding like a complete and total jerk, open up your fucking eyes and recognize that that America is the primary target market for the SUV. And I'm not even whipping out my microscope to closely examine those monster trucks jacked up to the sky, but every time I publicly question why, some guy overcompensates by saying that my ass is grass. Well, he's a little too late, because the price of gas is already kicking my ass, and really, we should all just be smoking that grass so we can all just chill the fuck out. Perhaps a joint prescription is, perhaps a joint effort is exactly what the doctor should prescribe, and then maybe we can learn how to enjoy the ride and maybe even celebrate the small penis. Now, I'm not even going to try and flatter myself into believing that size doesn't matter. After all, why would a guy get his tongue pierced? Twice. So I promise to be nice because if you're left unsatisfied, because in the end, boys will be boys. So I'm all good with bringing in a few toys and maybe even inviting a couple of friends to ensure that the fun never ends. But we have got to stop trying to pretend that this isn't the most ridiculous issue in thrusting our society today. Why else would we pay $1.3 billion in just 4 months for Viagra? Now, this whole situation would be a lot less tense if men didn't lack the confidence. Now, I'm not even going to try and touch the NRA, because that cliche, well, it's far too obvious. But maybe, just maybe, we could afford to rescue our own flooded out poor if our junk wasn't always stuck in someone else's stupid war. I mean, come on, people, what do you think missiles are shaped that way for? Now, maybe if we can just drop our American bully way and maybe put our overinflated egos at bay, maybe we can make this Tiny Johnson's big day. And maybe even open up our consciousness to ideas such as fair housing, healthcare, equality, acceptance. And maybe we wouldn't have to work 60 hours a week just for a mere pittance. I mean, seriously, imagine how much better would be this place if someone would just look the GOP dead in the face and say, "We embrace your small penis!" Now, ladies, for us to be able to actually pull this off, we're going to need a hand from you. All that other stuff has truly got to be enough. Now, I'm serious about the rainbows and the moonbeams and the puppy dog tails, but I'm also serious about the epic fails when we're struggling within because we're dirt floor poor and all your magazines and romance novels leave you longing for more. And see, I bought into that whole line of advertising before, and all I ever got was ripped off. You see, I need a partner who understands that while we're scraping together every last dime and you're pining for a Sherman tank that's sure to tear some shit up, just keep in mind that a stealth bomber might fly below the radar, but it's sure to hit the target each and every time. Now, I know you may not agree, but at least, step back for a moment, take a breath, and see. It truly is the little things in life that count. The subtle, insinuating sideways glance, going to the dance even when you ain't got no rhythm, trying to work out a system even when you want to go your separate ways because you want to get back to those days in between where you didn't want to be seen by nobody but each other. So, maybe it's time to try and come together and unite to fight for the little guy and rejoice, celebrate, and embrace. Someone, please. Embrace the small penis. Thank you very much for your time and energy. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. I love you all. I am alive because of you.
Mute yourself and give
Propaganda's a beast.
You are too much propaganda.
Come
together.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Propaganda.
Wow.
Plug in the
propaganda poet. Give it up for him. Make sure you give that dude a follow. And that whole missile line reminds me of George Carlin. He did this whole bit about it, and he talked about, why do you think the missiles are shaped that way? And George H. Bush wants to go bomb everyone. Real quick story about George Carlin. George Carlin was a very good friend of my family, right? He grew up with my mother. And I didn't know about this until after he died. I don't idolize people. George Carlin was one of the people I idolized, and I didn't even know he was a friend of the family. I was so pissed. I grew up hearing all these stories about this kid, Georgie, from White Harlem, as they called it. That's where he was from, White Harlem. Georgie, yeah, I remember this time we woke up and he was sleeping in our bathtub and all these things. I'm like, who is this dude? It was George Carlin. I will never forgive my family for that. Let's keep moving forward before I start getting mad and triggered. The Urban Cowboy Poet's next. Brother, let the people know where they can find you. Then let's hear you funny.
You can find me at Urban Cowboy Poetry, Facebook and YouTube. I didn't write specifically for the theme. I do what I do. I wrote a new urban legend. So the last part is up to you guys, the audience. Annie had just got engaged. She was hot to share her news. She met her bestie outside a store where she was buying shoes. She'd been dreaming about her fairy tale, happiness without end. She slipped her diamond ring off and showed it to her friend. Her friend screamed excitedly, "Wow, that's quite a rock." But Annie had a date that night. She was looking at the clock. "Please give me my ring back now, or I'm going to be late." But it fell into the street right through a sewer grate. Annie dropped down to her knees and looked where it had gone. To look where it was at, just to see it swallowed by a big old sewer rat. As the rodent scampered down the line, Annie began to cry. "Oh no, this is a tragedy. What do I tell my guy?" Her girlfriend apologized. "I'm careless and a flake. I'm stupid, irresponsible, crazy, and just nuts." And he vowed to tell her man the truth. Perhaps he should have lied. Maybe he'll take it hard. Maybe he'll be fit to be tied. She told her about the mishap with her brand new former friend. And he really loved your boyfriend. She hopes this won't end. "Of course I will still marry you. Everything will be fine. But we'll have to skip on travel and where we wine and dine. A new ring will set me back. You weren't insured, you see." Next week for their romantic date, they went to KFC. As they discussed what kind of low-cost wedding to arrange, Annie got her chicken dinner. One piece looked quite strange, tore odd shape with what looked like the long tail of a rat, which was, she convinced herself, just a string of chicken fat. But when she uncovered teeth, she cried, "What is this thing?" A second nervous cut exposed her missing engagement ring. Then her fiance lost his cool. He became irate. "Look at this disease-carrying pest you almost ate." He wanted to sue somebody, and he wanted to sing. "The restaurant served you vermin." "Yes, but they found my ring." "We can sue Colonel Sanders," he said. "Oh, I don't think we should. I got my diamond ring back. This is finger-licking good. Thank you." And it goes something like this.
Urban Cowboy.
That's what Urban Cowboy.
Nice.
Yes.
Two CT does it again.
Hear a new
That's an urban
story from
legend.
you.
I think that's a real story.
He does it again.
The Urban Cowboy Poet. You can look up Urban Cowboy Poetry on YouTube. You will be able to find him. Thank you, brother. Love having Greg around. I'm sorry, Urban Cowboy Poet. Can't be yelling out governments here. The FBI be watching me because I've been doing things, so now they're watching all of you. GG is next. There's actually some truth to that, just not the FBI. Okay, someone else, one of the other alphabet boys. GG with the Joker hair. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. GG, let the people know where they can find you. Let's hear your poetry.
You can find me on Instagram at iron_resilience, and I have a brand new website called arcadian-poetry.com. All right, I have 2 poems. We're just gonna jump right into it. The first one is called Amends to an Old Friend, and the second one is Death to the Hallway Quietude. So, amend to an old friend. Dear friend, I have been searching for you, posted your photos on figurative milk cartons, wondering why you left so easily. Dear Joy, I have been trying to remember what you look like in boxes of old photos, collecting dust in the back of closets. I don't know why you fled. It's been over a year since the diagnosis hit, and then the world turned to shit. Your presence nearly evaporated. Dear Joy, you are the weakest emotion I have ever loved. When you left, it was nothing but devastation. Was it because we never appreciated you? Was it because I never appreciated you? Dear Joy, I did not realize when you were in the room, but I noticed when you were gone. You left through the windows, through the doors so seamlessly. Did you ever feel remorse? You've slowly been creeping back into my life. I don't know what you look like anymore. You don't look the same. My lungs no longer fill when I see you. My eyes never overflow. You don't look the same, but neither do I. But your voice is unchanging. You still sound of laughter. And then the second one, because I am a teacher and it was teacher appreciation today. So, death to the hallway quietude. A spring break that finally is coming to a close after being extended for over a year. Hallways and corridors barren from a biblical plague that struck virally, not only taking the breath out of your lungs, but the laughter out of our lives, the lives out of our hallways. We downgraded expectations, learning, loving, losing virtually, while piecing together degrees, missing proms, graduations, mourning the loss of not only lives, but of the youth. It's been a year, what feels like a decade. Slowly, we are removing the rock from the tomb, looking for the light, creating a new resurrection of the life we once knew. One vaccine at a time, students flooding into schools in a time of plight, mask wearing, desks 3 feet apart, yet our hearts feel so much closer. No turning around, no paper products sit in your desk, sit straight. We are adapting. Yet, I still hear the resilience of youth, and it sounds like laughter. Thank you.
I love it.
Unmute yourselves and give
Yes,
it
I
up.
love it.
Beautiful. That was
Yes.
absolutely
That
beautiful.
was fantastic.
Dope.
You
Missed the
super
classroom so
beautiful.
much.
Dope.
That was Gigi from Central Massachusetts. And yes, happy Teacher Appreciation Week to everyone. Thank you for reminding me that, Gigi. I think, I got to be honest, though, I think it's a silly week because we should be celebrating teachers all the time. That should just like be built into the culture. I think it's a little ridiculous that we have to have a week to remind people, oh, we should appreciate teachers. No, we should appreciate them all the time. Like we need a reminder, but no, that's the society we live in. Just like why we always have all these different special months because we have to remind people to appreciate other type of people. I don't know. I'm silly. What can I say? I just appreciate what needs to be appreciated all the time. Dominique Colden is next. Dominique was on our waiting list last week. I really wanted to get to her because I've never seen her before. So that means she is new to the family. Where have you been, Dominique? This is like our 58th episode. All right. Get your life right and come hang out with us. Dominique, where are you located?
I'm in Sherman Oaks, California, but I'm originally from Hyattsville, Maryland.
Oh, we traveling. Okay. All right, Dominique. So here's how it goes. You should know by now. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's hear your poetry.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. So you can follow me on my Instagram at DTruthAndLove. I have a YouTube channel, DTNLUV, and my Cash App is $DTruthAndLove. I'm also on Facebook, and I'll put all that in the chat as well. So I have 2 of my original spoken word pieces that I'm going to perform for y'all tonight. And the first one is called Unstoppable. She looks into the mirror, the crystal clear gaze of perfection reflected. Today is the day, unstoppable, proud, standing tall, almost touching the sky. She closes the door of her home and opens the door of worldly ruckus outside. She does not hesitate. Today is the day. So what if they want to hate? Unstoppable. Sharp, sudden pain strikes through her thoughts and into her heart. Is she invisible to this ruckus? They don't even notice me. No, not really. Her thoughts rewind and reminisce on once upon a time when she fell and a helping hand always had her back. She would run into her mother's outstretched arms, knowing they would protect her from harm, sending death threats to evil and malice. Everyone's so caught up in this ruckus, girl, they're too busy to notice. Get a grip, but still. Some swim in the jealous sea while others just lost their common courtesy. Don't get so worked up, you see. One thing that escapes her are those little insecurities. Aha, they never fail to miss that, for they fail to realize the fact that it affects everybody. Girl, don't slouch. Keep your head up to the sky. They can see you, all of you, and everything else that plays out in this ruckus or in their little minds. You'll be fine. Trust me. A smile spreads like wildfire on her stunning face. Who is she to gain approval from? No one, not really. Justified. Her thoughts never lie, dressed to the nines, flawless from head to toe. Today is the day, unstoppable. And my next piece is pretty new, and it's called I Will See You on the Astral Plane. Physical eyes cannot see, but the soul perceives, trusts, and believes. Innocent youths and creatures great and small are tuned into the frequency, the ethereal, other realms. Just a few higher vibrations and frequencies, vibing faster than the hummingbird's wings. If you blink, you will miss it, dividing soul and spirit. Do you not perceive it? The veil is thinning. It cannot be grasped by human hands. One foot planted in so-called reality, the other existing, harmonizing on the astral plane. Celestial bodies cannot contain. I look forward to seeing you on the astral plane. Just for a few moments as you linger in the dream states, I lie in wait to see you on the astral plane. When your time in this realm comes to an end, your energy and frequency vibrate faster than the hummingbird's wings. No longer teeter-tottering in two separate realms. You will be here in this reality. Trust and believe. We will see each other until we meet again on the astral plane. Thank you.
Yeah.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Dominique.
Dominique, way to come through with that.
Lovely.
Yo, way to come through.
One of us,
Yo,
one of us.
dope.
Dominique Holden, that's it. You're not allowed to have a life on Monday. You're going to have to be here all the time. And although I appreciate the poem, if you ever miss a Monday, don't come with me at that BS. Oh, but I was with y'all on the astral plane. No, you got to be here on the virtual internet plane with us every Monday. Dominique Holden. You can check her out at D Truth and Love. And when you spell love, L-U-V, because, you know, poetic license. We're artists. We like to piss off the grammar police. Okay, next coming up is Trisha De Jesus, the heartbreaker. Trisha De Jesus is a heartbreaker.
How did I know you were going to bring that up?
You
I just
knew
knew it. I just knew it.
Yeah, I won't give away the details. I won't let them know where the
You better
bodies are
not.
buried.
You
No,
better not. Lips are sealed.
yes. Okay, Trisha, of course, you know what to do. Let them know where they can find you, and then let's hear your beautiful poetry.
Awesome. So instead of doing my usual spiel about Instagram, my Instagram account, I wanted to instead tell you guys about the this project that I'm a part of. It's called the Poetry Global Network, which has 3 shows. The one that premiered this week, there was a pilot for It's Everything Poetry That You Could Ever Want. So today there was the Poetry Times, which is 2 p.m. every Monday Eastern. The Poets React, which Marissa is part of, Marissa Prada, my wifey, which is on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then something that I'm a part of called the Poets Lighthouse, Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. I think I got those right. Yeah. And they're streaming on YouTube, Facebook. You can follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but a good place to start following them is the Poetry Global Network page on Facebook. Okay, so today I had a definite direction that I wanted to go with my poem. And basically it wrote itself. However, I didn't finish it, but I want to share with you what I did manage to accomplish. I laugh out loud at his bold compliment despite my shyness. But just as quickly, my mirth abandons me and I return to being self-conscious. Self-conscious about how my laughter ends in a delighted snort. Self-conscious how I have a slight overbite that people find charming, but I think is goofy, unsexy. I almost didn't accept this invitation to go out to dinner. It almost did not come. I was still processing that miracle, the day of our date. You see, Maxwell existed in a different social stratosphere, an exclusive club of impossibly beautiful people and impossibly perfect lifestyles, a club to which I never bothered to apply, certain that I would never gain entry. I lived on the ground floor. I had always lived on the ground floor. But there he was one day, propped up against my cubicle, chatting with a guy whose square was next to mine about illustrating a Greek mythology text, and my next door pompous as fuck cubicle mate was spouting made-up stories out of his ass that I couldn't stop myself at all from blurting out. The nymph who pined for Narcissus was actually Echo and not Eros. Long pause, while one face tried to master indignation and the other couldn't hide its delicious mirth, appraising me, sucking me into eyes I couldn't yet fathom. The dinner invite came later that day as I was heading home. I stuttered an apologetic no. I got home. I paced the floor and forgot my saag paneer sitting in the microwave. My fingers found my phone all on their own. I found him in my contacts and whispered, yes, softly into the ether. On the night of our dinner, I sat in front of my vanity balking. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Replayed in my head as my hand made the motion of the skipping track applying red lipstick. One breath in, hold. One breath out. Goddess, fortify me. I checked my smeared lips in the mirror with a curse and palmed through my makeup kit for a facial tissue to fix it with. When I returned to focus on my reflection, to wipe off the smudge, I caught my own gaze in the mirror. There I was, smiling back, knowing, serene, seductive. Lips blood red and perfection. My image threw her head back, pure joy. And when she stared back, she held Maxwell's same delicious mirth in her eyes for a moment before her face became solemn. She lifted her arm, proffering the object in her left hand to me. Instead of the lipstick I was holding onto with a death grip in my right hand, was a smooth amethyst in the shape of a human heart. Thank you.
What a then give it up for Trisha De Jesus.
Wow. What are you doing to me? Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Levon.
Just with that ending.
She's so incredible. She's so incredible. She's just
Thank you.
an incredible.
You see how her heartbreaking skills work. Oh, I've just kind of put this together. I'm not really done. And then quickly cuts us up. Trisha De Jesus, you can follow her, Finn_Bell on Instagram. Make sure that you give her a follow. And real quick, because we talk about comic book nerds and she mentioned Eros. Okay, so you know in the MCU, in Marvel, they talk about Thanos, right? Thanos has a brother named Eros. Now, Thanos is from Thanatos, which means death. And Eros is like the mischief of God, right? And this all comes from Freud. Like, it is a serious breakdown. So when you go and you watch the MCU movies, or you're reading a comic book and they got Thanos in there, it's coming from Freud, all right? It goes deep. These comic books go deep. So when she said Eros, that's actually how I found out about Eros, because he's a comic book character. And then I looked deeper into it and I was like, oh my God, there's more to the story. All right, real quick. Before we get to 10 o'clock, I want to shout out some people who were here that are not on the open mic list, but came to give us love. Like Idionga, we're going to to get you on the open mic list. We're going to figure this out, all right? I have not forgotten. Shout out Diane Ward, I had mentioned before as well. She is in our highlight reel. MKC, I still have no idea who this person is, but every week they're coming and giving us love. Appreciate you. Abigail is here too. Abigail looks, I don't know where Abigail is, but Abigail looks like she is somewhere in the Caribbean at one of those like beach bars and stuff. I don't know why you're on here when the beach is behind you, it looks like, but I love it. And I'm just going to think that, okay? So who else do we have here that is not on the list that I wanted to shout out? Shout it out Amanda. Amanda's going to be paying for the OnlyFans for Gina. Shout out Joshua Kernia, a mainstay here. He's come to listen. Out in the Bay Area. Of course, Nessa. I think Nessa's doing folding laundry while listening to us. Love you, Nessa. Thank you for being here. Bradman is here. That dude is hilarious. And he is such a great writer, okay? I've only heard, within 5 seconds of talking to him, I knew he was going to be great. And then the poem he shared was great. Love it. Hopefully we could get him on. Nancy Helgeson, I'm probably saying that last name wrong. I'm sorry, Nancy. Nancy's also checking us out. Net Vega's in the building, trying to give me some problems behind the scenes. I got you in the chat. Ron Mark Thompson, I mentioned him. He's here too. Shout out to Ron. Poetic Desires here. What's up? Dark Man Blues, Complicated Passion, but I think he's on the waiting list. We may not be able to get to him. Mr. Speaker is in the building. Brother, what's going on? I hope you're good. Cassidy Williams. There's the comment, so I think it's Cassidy Williams. Shout out to Cassidy Williams checking us out. Alexander Goldberg, the Goldberg is here. Midnight is here. Midnight, our Yankees are looking really good, huh? Your Mets are probably really upset. Scott Pleasance is also in the building. Scott's trying to have me perform a poem on Mother's Day. The next week, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Jasmine G is here, who keeps showing up. Shout out to Jasmine. I appreciate you showing up. I still don't know who you are, but I appreciate you showing up. Someone named Carlos is here. I don't know who Carlos is, but shout out to Carlos. Thank you for checking in. Roz is here. What's going on, Roz? Bronx in the building, loving it. Kevin Alexander, someone who keeps checking in with us. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you too. Tara Lee. Oh, Tara Lee's on the waiting list. Don't know if forget her, but shout out to Tara Lee. And I think there are more people that I am going to get to, but let's keep it moving and I will shout them out in a bit. But right now, we keep hearing about this thing, Love Letters to Gaia, this anthology. Well, the woman with the Hollywood hair that we are calling up next is the one who put it all together. That is Miro. Miro, I'm so glad that you are back with us, that you have returned from the heavens of Hollywood, and your hair is gorgeous, girl. And I did not forget that I think it was like maybe 6 months ago, I asked you to marry me and you said yes. Air is videotape, all right? So you and that hair is going nowhere. Miro, let the people know where they can find you. Let's hear your poetry.
Oh, God's advocate, you sure know how to make a girl wait. So anticipation, why not? So I'm on Instagram, Miro Reads Books. It looks like Miro Reads Books, but it's Miro because that's me. And also, I'm going to also plug my book. So thank you so much to DG and Michael Sindler, who showed Gaia on the screen. And all proceeds are going to 350.org. So far, we've sold 138 books, and we've got about $900 in royalties. I'd love to get it to 1,000. Just like really give them something to, be thankful for. Anyway, that's why I did it, so I could get all the credit. Just kidding. I could never. So I have a couple of pieces. The first one is kind of serious because I've been feeling all sorts of ways lately. Today was super fun, by the way. And then I've got another one in here that I finished writing as I was listening to you guys. And I kind of hope it works with the theme, but the first one is called Realizations of the Adult, and I wrote it at the Met a couple weeks ago. I got lost on country roads and deep hollers where I tried to untangle myself from the brush thick with thorns that nicked at my legs. Now I'm lost in a city overrun by too much concrete and faded flashes of ancient memory where I'm trying to find peace, search for purpose, settle into stability. Once I knew the result of 2 and 2, I was so sure of the answer I could see it. I grew up to discover seeing is not finding, it's a mirage. It's grasping at air as you fall farther from what you've been told should be. I realized my parents were not all-knowing, but people improvising, haunted by their mistakes, lost like me. If this is the fate of the adult, endless wondering in nice clothes with disposable income, would the child be in such a rush if they knew what they'd become? The anxiety of what's next exists in the space between my eyes, vision blurring as I realize I must resolve myself to the task of letting go. Slowly peeling fingers curled tight over someone else's meaning of life, a tedious task, in an effort toward relief so that I may move more lightly out of the brush, away from the concrete, a soft sigh away from eternity. So that's realizations of the adult, huge bummer. And then this one, it's New York City themed as well. Sorry. God, fuck you, New York. I got inspired. Well, you'll see. It's called I Rise. To the light, I rise. To the noise and grit, the color and movement. To the smells and crowds and garbage on the pavement, I rise. From the rails, this outdated labyrinth, banging and clanging and screeching, moving these weary bodies a jerk and a stop away beneath this city riddled with potholes and broken dreams. To the light, I rise, grinding those black polka dots I assume used to be gum into the diamond patterns of each step. I rise, step by step, by step, by step, by step, by step, by step. I rise. Along with the strangers who keep their eyes to the ground, sweeping for vermin that darts out from the cracks in the walls. I shudder to think what I bring home on my souls. Quickly, I rise, quickly, towards the light. Though the air isn't much better and the crowds are thicker, I rise, only to be trapped in the whirlwind of this city. Does it get any better? Not really. Yet I rise, eager, 'cause it's better than that subway crazy. Thank you.
Mute yourselves. Give it up for
Miro.
Miro.
Miro. Always dope, Miro. Always dope. Always. Always.
Make sure you give her a follow on Instagram. Miro Reads Books. Like she said, it looks like Mirror Eads Books, but it's Miro Reads Books. Make sure you give her a follow and make sure you look up Love Letters to Gaia. That is so impressive, close to raising $1,000, and then they're just gonna give it away. I would save it for a rainy day, and when I'm ready to change up the hairstyle, man. Nah, I'm joking. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you're connecting with the people here in the community. They're doing some awesome stuff. Shout out, shame on me. Shout out to Whitney Salgado. I can't believe I didn't shout her out when I gave everyone love. She has been giving us so much love, posting on social media, coming in and listening to all of our crazy, giving everyone love. I love it. Shout out to Whitney Salgado. Also, shout out to Native Incorporated, who stepped away from her camera, but maybe she's in the bathroom now and she's hearing her name like, oh my God, I need to run back to my desk so that people can see me. Native Incorporated, we see you. Thank you for checking us out. Okay, now we're going to Poetaku. Now, where is he? Poetaku. He is coming in for Catherine Bedan. Catherine had to leave, and that is why. And she said, give it up to Poetaku. Oh my God, where is he? Oh, I see him. Y'all are in for a treat. If you don't know who Poetico is, he is out in Japan. He has gotten up early. He has put his day on pause to be with us, and he always does something a little different with his performances, make Zoom a little more creative. Poetico is good to hear. Yes, I hear you.
All right, am I all right? Catherine, isn't it Catherine?
No, Catherine had to leave, and she said she wanted you to have her spot, and you're on the waiting list, so you got her spot. Go ahead, brother. Rock out.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. When it comes to eroticism, I'm never much for Marisa, but tonight is a pandemic paranoia, pandemic, paranoia, parodia. It's just a parody. Just parody. So don't take it seriously. Don't get angry. Just enjoy it. Let's get started. So erotic, eccentric. My dear people, trust me, I am the pandemic pathetic president, not the pandemic poor boy, you know. Poets are experts in words, but I'm an expert in politics. Action rather than words. I like more than the book. My job is solitary. Now, the lockdowns are so common, I've released more semen than the Pacific Ocean amount. A few days ago, I sailed to Japan on a steamship. I threatened the shogun that he should come under a nuclear umbrella and never sign the nuclear weapon conversations. As long as the enemy has nuclear weapons, we should have them too. The shogun, with his trademark servile smile, happy shook my penny sword. I hate Shakespeare. Hero, reality, thy name is woman. But I think man is frail. Because a man's orgasm is over at the moment of ejaculation, but a woman's pleasure will last long after it. That's why I converted to Buddhism to be born as a woman in next life. Death and life, semen, amen. To be or not to be, that's the question. That's also incorrect. We should say, to be and not to be. Thinking about this pandemic, I wish I was nothing. If I'm nothing, you know, I won't have the pleasure of having. But don't have to suffer unemployment, starvation, masturbation, heartbreak, hypocrisy, hippos, impotence, insomnia, insane, pain, penis, clitoris, nuclear weapons, pornism, orgasm, organic racism, algorithm, algorithms, fascists, Nazis, nationalists, nothing's happiness. So please be my friend, guys. I'm so lonely now. I get bored with solidarity after a year or more. I'm looking for someone to whip me. I pay you $100 for each whack. Plus, I give a bonus to anyone who can leave letters on my skin. The letters are beep, beep, beep. That'll be my title the next time I am born. Peaceful, pentagonal, princess. P. Thank you so much.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Poetical.
Always.
He's a fucking genius. He's a fucking genius, man. Like, seriously, that
Whatever
dude's a
you're on,
genius.
because
That dude's a genius, man. Seriously, that dude's a
That was
genius.
incredible.
That dude's a genius.
Erotic.
Poetical, yo, make sure that you look him up. He's on YouTube. I've actually used one of his poems that he had put on YouTube in a class that I taught. Brought him to the high school kids. I don't think I could show them this one, but like I love this one. I think this is my new favorite hit from him. Love the way he flipped it. Make sure you go look him up on YouTube. Poetical. Shout out to Japan, man. Those of you who follow me know I love Japan. And I always talk about like the history between our countries through poetry. I'm talking about like the poetic side and why the haiku got big. I could go on and on about it. I love it. Poetical. Make sure that you check him out. Okay, next coming up, I have Generalissimo, who had trouble getting in, but I believe he is in now. Where are you, good sir? There he is. There he is. He actually wrote one of the funniest lyrics I have heard for 2021. I think so far it is still my favorite limerick of 2021. Generalissimo, let the people know where they can find you online. And let's hear your poetry, brother.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna put everything in the chat for you. It's Brian Ira Franco on Facebook, GNRLSMO on Instagram. There's a lot of different publications I'm in. I listed there, and also on the 24th of July, I do my first workshop called Breaking Rules and Inventing Poetic Forms for the Tumblewords Project. Go to their Facebook page. They have different people facilitate every Saturday. It's a fantastic free workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and start some poetry for you right now. And I did write a haiku just for you today. So mommy isn't the only one I write haikus for. Advocate of words uses poetic license to spell his surname. That's your haiku. Okay, this is a brand new poem called Unrequited. I am a deer in the headlights in your presence, just the sight of you. When you graze my elbow unintentionally, oops. When you lightly tap me on the shoulder, when you say hello to me. God help my heart if you wave or smile at me from across a crowded room, if you dare to look me in the eyes. For me to tell you how I feel would make my heart beat so fast, it would have to jump out of my chest to survive. I will write my feelings in a poem, in a squiggly black and white cardboard covered comp book, tear the page from the notebook, fold it in thirds, shove it in an unmarked envelope under a pile of paid bills in my desk drawer, so I shall never risk reading it to you or anyone else. If I did so, I might learn why the word crush exists. You could hold my mushy heart in your hands and twist it and wring out my ability to smile, leaving only residual heartbreak tears that would never dare exit my eyes. I will take a deep breath I shall never exhale. I will accept our existences as separate. I will accept that being afraid of my own shadow is being afraid of being in love. I will hope that one day you will reciprocate my feelings without my expressing them to you, so I can finally be able to read you this poem. The next poem is called The Afterlife of a Tear. Every tear I cry tears a hole in my brain to reserve a place for a memory to reside. Sometimes certain memories decide to burrow a little further than others, so when they get remembered, they have to be triggered. Sometimes someone has to commit a crime against me I forgot I had previously experienced. And I see the previous perpetrator's face and the current perpetrator's face, which might make me scream loud enough to make him or her go deaf. There are memories we want to remember forever. There are memories not consequential enough to keep forever. Then there are memories that hide away in their burrowed holes, that leave permanent residue in our souls called trauma. And finally, this is called Love Song. A long, subdued blast of a trumpet, the gentle humming strum of an upright bass, the warbled sound of a saxophone making its presence known, fingers running across a piano keyboard, impersonating a tap dancer lightly tapping, tap dancing across 88 upside down steel drums, a vocalist singing a song calm and clean, straight and smooth, a song that is a love song, a song about a love that is pure and incorruptible, a song that imitates a single tear falling smoothly down a cheek, its salty residue landing on the edge of a joyous smile. Gracias, everyone.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Generalissimo.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
good. Does it?
Go, go,
He
go.
does
Yes,
that.
yes.
Love you.
He just does that.
The afterlife of a tear. I'm so mad that I didn't write that. Oh, the afterlife of a tear. Ooh, this. Make sure you go give him a follow. Generalissimo, Brian Iro Franco, IRO. He's on Facebook. check this dude out. He goes to so many different workshops, different open mics. Like he is trying to get it in where he could get it in, and he has been growing by leaps and bounds. And that is not to say that he started off bad. Like you could start off really good and still grow leaps and bounds. And like he is getting himself to fit in everywhere. Love it, Generalissimo. Okay, next up I've got from the Bronx, Roz. Roz, where are you, Roz? Are you there, Roz? Are you there?
I'm right here.
There we go, Roz.
How y'all doing?
Roz made an appearance in the highlight reel too, and Roz shared the highlight reel. I think.
Yes, I did. I love those things. That's like one of like my favorite things about what you do lately. Are those highlight reels. But my piece is called Non-Pharmaceutical. And y'all gonna have to excuse me because I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I sound like masculine or whatever. But laughter nourishes. It medicates. Ironically, it's like the expensive supplements that we forget to take. Let's not forget, it's our natural state before the weight of the world digs its claws into our flesh, capable of poking holes into darkness, able to uplift. If it's not medicinal, then why is a child's giggle disarming in the best way? Even if just for a second, it manages to outweigh any emotion. Laughter is quite the trickster. Sometimes it's provoked, unexpected. Other times it may sneak up on you like an uninvited guest, barging in mid-interview to calm the nerves, funeral to mask the pain, during an argument to save a life and not catch a case, or to purposely scare the sane. Laughter, best when hearty, best when it makes your cheeks red or the sides of your stomach hurt, prettiest when genuine, tolerated when it's ugly and full of snorts, healthiest when you have to rush to pee because something was just that funny. Laughter, often showering moments that live happily in our memories. Best when protected by a full set of teeth, a sound foreign to some, perhaps captured only in a photograph. Whatever the case, just never forget to laugh. End poem.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Roz.
Hey, Roz. All right, Roz. Way to come and drop that off, Roz.
There you go, girl. I see you.
Oh.
Thank you, guys.
Covered so many angles of it. I love it. And I'm sorry you're under the weather, but you sound sexy. All right. That raspy voice. Are you kidding me? Go look in the chat. I'm not the only one who said it, Roz. Don't look at me like I'm funny. All right. Go in the chat. Other people said the same thing. Through Her BigBrownEyes.com is her website. You can follow her on Instagram at Through Her Big Brown Eyes. That is Roz, a mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic. Even though she started out as a Thursday kid, and she's very close with La Bruja, she came and hung out with us and has not looked back. The Bronx is in the house. Love it. Through Her BigBrownEyes.com. Next coming up is someone who has become hooked on us. And she is here every week now. She is now going to become a Monday mainstay, and that is Jen Monique. Jen, you know the deal. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's hear your poetry.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I just put my info in the chat. If you guys were here, actually, you know what? I have two poems. The first one is super quick. I have some unfinished business I need to attend to. Here goes. Well, hello. Before I introduce my next poem, let me take a moment to pay back the most humbling and giddiest compliment I've ever received on a poetic stage. Wait. Before I get into that, let me give you a little bit of celebrity trivia. Jason Momoa, you know, Aquaman, he ended up with his celebrity crush, Lisa Bonet. And, you know, A-Rod, he ended up with his celebrity crush, J-Lo. Victoria Beckham ended up with David Beckham. Just keep that little bit of information in your mind and allow me to tell my side of the story. Now, if you were here a couple of weeks ago, you'll know who I'm talking about. The second I laid my eyes on him, I could only wonder. So far was I out of his league, I could only wonder. Listening to him speak, I was hypnotized. I'd been following him for quite some time as I was new on the scene. And as silly as it may seem, it wasn't about moving on. I just didn't think there could ever be anything going on. To have an opportunity with him, please, he wouldn't see me. However, I'm not known for being super shy. I set my mission just to say hi, just a quick hello and goodbye. Listen, y'all, he was a feature one night and he had books for sale. There was my opening. There was my chance. I was like, here you go. Take the cost of the price of your lyrics just so that I could have a moment of your time. See, getting a copy of his book wasn't just enough for me. I needed his words to be dedicated to me. It might have been the only thing he'd ever say to me. So I approached him, damn near losing all my senses. We spoke, and somehow I didn't pass out. My book was signed, and I almost cried, and he smiled at me. Jennifer, what we say becomes reality. Speak your dreams into existence. I mean, have you ever melted over words? Well, let me tell y'all something. It's very easy to do when your celebrity crush is advocate of words. Thank you. All right. Hope that brought some laughter to y'all, and I hope he appreciates being put on the spot like he did with me. So on to my next poem. I actually don't have a title for this one other than laughter, question mark. All right, here goes. This week's theme is laughter. Are you kidding me right now? How the hell am I supposed to write about laughter at a time like this? Damn, for a woman who loves to laugh, who thinks, or rather knows, she's hysterically funny just because she can laugh at herself, let alone others. Let me state the obvious. We're in a fucking pandemic. Lives have been robbed as young as infancy to the old who still had some time to spare. Jobs, careers, livelihoods, all robbed. My 14-year journey to a college graduation has been robbed of me. My son's exciting kindergarten experience has been robbed of both of us. Where he once loved daycare at Lehman's campus, he now begs me, when will school, remote or in person, be over? He misses the things he had since he was 2. Vacation, birthday celebrations, any celebrations for that matter, weddings, hell, relationships, sports, the list goes on. The list goes on, have all been robbed of laughter. Instead, we got Trump and the siege of the Capitol, Black Lives Matter, and Stop Asian Hate hashtags. So now what? I guess I'm supposed to dig deep into the silver lining, perhaps? Find some old memories of laughter then? All right. Give me a second. Let me rummage through some shit. I've got something here, I'm quite sure. Well, can I laugh at the fact that my household wasn't touched by COVID? No. That doesn't seem right. That's just wrong. Wait. Okay. Let me start out my best friend, Liza, and my new life ladies. We all became so much closer, keeping each other company, floating with our heads above the oceans of depression. I mean, that's not funny, but we told some hella funny jokes along the way. As stressful as it's been having my rambunctious boy in the house 24/7 times 2, it's given me the privilege to watch his 5-year-old personality emerge full force. It has both horrified me and filled me with joy and laughter, because that child of mine has a mouth and a wit to be in awe of. There's been the reconciled relationships with my nephew and my niece, both grown and living in this scary world on their own. Our reconnection has brought many streams of tears, but also the truest love of laughter out from behind buried places. There's no sweeter sound to my heart than their laughter. I've done some photo shoots just for the hell of it, and they remind me that I am art. I don't always have to be photogenic to feel gloriously confident in my look. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, that's right. I got my damn hard-earned bachelor's degree. Let me laugh that up, even if it is by myself. Shit, nothing and no one has achieved in keeping that away from me. And to my naysayers, I say, because let me introduce myself. I'm Jen Monique, the badass with the paper to prove it college graduate. So now kiss my ass. There's one other thing. So there's that silver lining, right? All right. Well, love has floated around me for a while, I guess, but nothing has seemed to land and stay. But I have to admit, though, nothing was better than Advocate of Words announcing to New York watchers that he's had a crush on me, even if it was once upon a time. Having that unrequited feeling fulfilled will be unforgettable. And off cameras, my giggles were bursts of laughters, well, bewildered laughters, of a secret desire I had long forgotten about. And least of all, the summer is on its way, eventually. The sun's heat on my taina brown skin will rejoice with glow and laughter. I can tell you that. All right. Maybe there are some things to laugh about during this time when life seems so robbed of it. I look forward to being filled and flowing with so much more of laughter. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give
Yes, my Taina princess, yes. It's beautiful. Marika. He made Advocate blush, man. I mean,
All right, okay. Jen Monique, you can go find her on Facebook, her website, jenmonique.com. I'm not a celebrity. I appreciate that, though. I will take that compliment, but I'm not a celebrity. Jen Monique, make sure that you go give her a follow. Yeah, you see, that's what I get. I tried to shout her out, make her blush, feel all types of way on Zoom or from the island. She's like, oh yeah, I got a bomb for you. She wanted to drop that last week, but she couldn't sign up on the list. I was like, oh, got away with it. No, didn't. Jen Monique, thank you, Jen. Next coming up, we have, okay, let's see if I get this woman's last name right. Aram Asghar.
Almost.
Asghar?
Oh, it's just the A is a little different. It's Asghar.
Asghar. Say it again.
It's Aram Asghar.
Asghar?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Like people, you need to make sure people are saying your name right. Okay, that's why I keep saying it, even though I'm butchering it because I'm trying to say it right. What kind of a last name is it? Can you tell me?
It is Arabic.
Arabic. Okay. Say it one more time. Just say the last name again.
Asghar.
Asghar. I'm gonna have to work on it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but I'm getting your first name right, Aram?
You got it. You nailed it.
Awesome. Well, Aram, welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Pardon me for blushing. I was throwing a curveball there, but now it is your time, and there's no pressure because if you do bad, we're just going to think bad about Andy because he brought you. We're not going to think bad about you, so there's no pressure on you, okay? So, Aram, let the people know where they can find you online, and let's hear your poetry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no pressure. Don't feel it at all. So the place that you can find me at is on Instagram for now. That's all I have. It's called Midnight Free Spirit. I don't have a lot on there yet. I'm very baby at sharing my work. I'm really grateful to be here to do that today. And I feel so bad for ending this beautiful night on like a kind of sad note because my poem is super not on the topic of laughter. And and it doesn't have a name yet. It is new. Yeah, okay, so I will just start. Sometimes we reject love, and we do it repeatedly so, but rest in the knowing that we reject love for a reason. We lose love for a reason. And though there is incredible pain in the loss of love, we find strength at the pit of it. Strength that we so desperately needed to find, strength that had not ever been made apparent to us, not once. Strength we needed so desperately to uncover, and sometimes it takes losing something really important to go fishing in the closet of your emotions, where courage has been buried deep down under centuries of feminine neglect, under eons of hoarded codependency, under narcissistic abuse, under the cave of stuff that piles up in the afterbirth of a home built on the darkest foundations of addiction in every possible form. So sometimes we lose love when we are born in darkness, but the painful search that loss prompts leads to strength. The number 8 is indeed a life well earned through legs fortified by suffering and love transformed into a gentle lioness. Fire still and roaring, still not infinite, stoked by the effort of the sacred noticing that we conjure in our twisted, broken, and oddly, uniquely beautiful minds. I am a vase, broken and rebuilt, definitely with crazy glue, and gilded with molten treasure uncovered in the belly of infinite beasts that lurk in shadows of time and genetic disadvantage tattooed on my blood cells. I am not pretty. That's not a word I would use to describe the complexity of pain that has put together this story of me. I am not strong. I don't look favorably on that adjective that people throw at me when they don't know the first thing about how to talk about someone who has a painful roaring flame always silently waiting in their blood to burn them at the stake of their cursed ancestry that has softness and love hidden like Where's Waldo behind all the bodies of dysfunction in India Inc. I am a constant striving, a constant lesson, an ongoing story, a living testament to my bloody intestines that rupture at the sight of bread. I am a child, aware of the cruel irony of the world and the forever searching for compassion, for equality, for joy, for sanity in insane cliffs of my mind. I am a child, making sense of my twisted landscape just like you. I am not strong. I am not the adjective, the notion of brown invincibility, of hustle that you appoint to me in your ignorance of poverty. I am not just the lack of a dollar sign. I am an entire history of neglect that you neglect to notice when you have no idea what to say to inequality, and you choose the words out of your mouth that label every historically, socioeconomically, mentally, physically, sexually outnumbered and disadvantaged person as strong? No, we are not strong. Your lack of care for the intricacies of our history forces us to be strong so we can earn your respect as if a decent fucking human life needed to be earned. No, it is a God-given right. We are children, just like you. We shouldn't have to be strong.
Ooh, unmute yourselves. Give it up for
Yes.
Damn, say what?
Go. Let's
What?
go. That's how
Say
you set
what?
that shit off,
Oh my
bro.
god.
Dope.
Fire.
Dope.
Somebody bring a fire extinguisher.
Dope.
This lady's on fire.
Dope.
Damn.
Oh my
Sensei.
I better learn her last name real quick, man. That is Aram Oscar. Oh, I'm not even gonna butcher Aram. You can see how you spell it. Okay, Aram, put your information in the chat so people can follow whatever, because you got a whole bunch of new fans, and now you're gonna have to come back every Monday. You two are gonna have to give up your life. Okay, look. We're gonna trade in Andy, and we're gonna take Aram and Gina. Okay, that's what I think. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, we love you, Andy. We love you, but yeah, you're not joking, Andy. Aram killed it. Oh my God, what an ending! with an ending. Unfortunately, we have started to run out of time, so I want to shout out Thomas Connor, who's on the waiting list. Dude's a beast. Happy belated birthday, brother. I want to shout out Gwen C, who's on the waiting list. She's a beast too. I'm sorry we missed her. Tara Lee, she's a beast as well. And being from New York, I say terror, like Terra. And it sounds, and that's like her real name. She's so sweet too. Shout out to Bonnie Soloway, who didn't even come on. She had emailed me. She's like, I didn't sign up. Apparently the Phantom Internet Ghost signed it up, because last week the Phantom signed up Amanda, and this week the Phantom signed up Bonnie Soloway. Shout out to James Spoken Word as well. Complicated Passions and Ed Poetastic, our own superhero here, where everything is poetastic to him. I appreciate y'all so much. Sorry we ran out of time. We will be back next Monday. If you cannot wait till Monday, Thursday night, La Bruja is hosting at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you give her a follow at La Bruja NYC. And of course, follow me at Advocate of Words. When you spell words, that's with a Z, because, you know, it's poetic license, but I'm hip hop, what, from the Bronx. With that being said, good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written, because I needed it. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative and entertaining as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Agrin into your home. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, and I am anything but your reluctant host, Advocate of Words. Thank you for this whole year, plus for making my Monday so great. Tuesday is the new Monday, Monday's the new Friday. The calendar week is all just messed up, and I love it, and I don't care. So, good night, sweet poet. Keep reading,